Hi, I'm Mike Rizzo.
And I'm Michelle Rizzo.
And this is Northwest Brew Talk. Welcome to Northwest Brew Talk, the number one podcast on Northwest beer, brought to you by Mike and Michelle Homebrew, located in Kenmore, Washington. This is episode number 89. Each and every week, we promote the Northwest brewing industry by talking to those people involved and drinking their beer. If you like craft beer, learn about the people behind it here on our show. This week on the Micro Homebrew interview, we talk with Swinnerton Brewing. We also have our brew news and views and music from Serpentspire.
If you're new to the show, we suggest you get online and check out our back catalog with some great interviews and lots of beer. To start the show, let's open up our first pour tonight, which is from Rambling Route, located in Yakima. This is their Rambling Route Cider. For those that appreciate the bold, crisp flavor of biting into a Washington-grown apple, your quest for the perfect apple cider ends with Rambling Route. We grow and press only fresh apples from our family farm and carefully blend under the roof of our cidery, located in the heart of Yakima Valley. Expect pineapple aromas and mineral qualities on the nose, snappy and racy acid levels on the palate, coupled by a deep, full-bodied finish. No additives, no concentrates or preservatives, ever. Rambling Route Hard Apple Cider. 6.9% ABV and an untapped rating of 3.41.
Nice. Sounds good. And
It smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good. It's very light. It's got no head on it. It's good.
It's good. It's not those, spicy, crazy flavors that we had. It's just a very nice, exactly what you'd expect. Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, last week we had the pumpkin spice one.
Well, yeah, that one had a lot
that
of
was
spice
good.
in it.
That was good,
yeah,
but
I'm
that was
trying to
different.
do you smell the pineapple?
Oh, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of get that if you take a good whiff in there. You can get a definite pineapple scent.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. I do like that. All right.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, definitely. Yakima. All right, good start to the show here. Thumbs up on that. And that brings us to this week's brew news and views. All right, and this week's brew news, all kinds of stuff. No, not really. We're not talking about that much this week.
Want me to pour you some more?
Sure. We'll have some more. We'll drink some more cider. We got 3 of them for you this week. We've got even more beers for you next week, and we'll tell you why later. But, starting the show, we're going to do, we haven't done too many events and such, but our friends over at Lowercase in Seattle sent us a message and wanted to know if we could let you know that they are finally going to open.
Woohoo!
That's right. They had to move, and they're opening a new tap room, and that grand opening is Friday, November 11th. They're going to have tickets. Doors will be opening at 4 p.m. Tickets through Eventbrite. You can probably check it out through Facebook or Eventbrite, or maybe on their webpage. Not sure, but Lowercase. Congratulations on that. Their new Georgetown tap room.
Exciting.
Yeah. All right. The other thing is there's a lot of different things going on. We've talked a lot in the past few weeks about the big beers, because they're the ones that there's a lot of that stuff that seems to have an impact overall on the beer community. I've only had a little bit of this cider, but this story came from Brewbound. It's not brand new, but it's interesting. It's talks about a new CBA agreement indicates a potential AB InBev buyout. This is very interesting because there's 2 competing things going on here, and I'm not quite sure. According to this article, ABI currently owns 31.6% stake in Craft Brew Alliance. And Craft Brew Alliance, for those that don't know, that's the people that brew Red Hook and Widmer and Kona. Mm-hmm. And one of their breweries is in Woodinville, Washington, one down in Portland, another one over in New Hampshire. A little Star Wars in the background. So, what according to this article, it says that ABI has laid the groundwork to eventually purchase the entire CBA organization for as much as $24.50 a share. And with 19 million shares outstanding, that could mean more than $420 million.
Lots of money.
Okay. Question though: in early October, they laid off in the Woodinville facility. They laid off at least a dozen employees after the contract volumes with Pabst to brew Rainier beer fell short of their goals. Mm-hmm. And at that time, this was early October, they were also discussing that there was also an agreement with Pabst to purchase the brewery for $25 million in this year, $26 million next year, and $27 or $28 million the year after. It has to be purchased by 2018. And the brewery itself is only operating at 30% capacity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's a huge brewery. What they say, last year alone they did 824,000 barrels, which is a huge amount. But that's over.
And that's only 30% capacity?
Yeah,
that's
over,
nuts.
That's over three. Well,
that's
over three breweries. But the one in Woodinville is only at 30%. So this wasn't just from them.
Right.
But still, what I'm wondering is why this other agreement in August with ABI that says that they could sell for $420 million, where in October the one with Pabst says that they could sell for $28 million. It's a little confusing.
Yeah.
And it does say that if because they are such a big brewery, Red Hook or CBA together, that if ABI tried to buy them, it probably would cause the Department of Justice to do a review, and that was part of the deal when they were buying Miller.
Right.
So I don't know. What it does is they've solidified some things with ABI, including locking in a price per barrel for distribution, and it's also going to give them the opportunity to contract brew more beer for ABI. And export opportunities to Brazil, Mexico, Chile, among other places. So, I don't know. It's a little confusing. I didn't really feel like digging into it too much. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is, if you're in Washington, Red Hook, I think most of their production's already been moved to Oregon, to Portland, to their facility down there. And most likely this is going to become somebody else's brewery here. It was built, for a small brewery, originally Red Hook, in Seattle. They grew to be a pretty big brewery, and, this is what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, anyhow, that's going to leave, again, like we've said before, that would leave Fremont as the biggest, probably the biggest brewery in the state, and the biggest independent brewery for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Anyhow, that's all we're going to talk about this week on this week's Brew News.
It's quite the debate we had there.
Views. There was no debate. We debated whether we should talk about it.
Welcome back to Northwest Brew Talk. You can find us free, available anywhere you listen to podcasts, including iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and Google Play Music.
And YouTube.
Right, on YouTube as well.
All right, on this week's Micro Homebrew interview, we're talking to Swinnerton Brewing from Marysville, Washington. Okay, we're here with Pat from Swinnerton Brewery in Marysville. And Pat, why don't you give us a little background on how you started brewing?
Oh, I got into brewing. One of my old neighbors used to home brew, and it was pretty amazing. And then I just jumped into it and taken off ever since. And then after home brewing for maybe I could turn this hobby into a hobby that supports itself, and decided to turn it into a brewery.
Right. So how many years were you home brewing?
14.
14, okay. And did you start out in extract, or did you go into grain right away?
I started extract. It's easier.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's also less time consuming, I felt at the time.
Right. Extract was easier, just easier at the time to start with?
Easier and, consistency,
right.
It was definitely, definitely there with extract because, it's the same every time.
Right. So about how long did you brew with extract then?
Still am.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, so it's just that, like you said, especially, well, how big is your system?
Actually, you could call it a 3-barrel system, but it's more like a 3 1-barrel system.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, that's a 55-gallon brew pot, and then several 42-gallon conical fermenters.
Okay. All right.
And so I like to do at least 1 barrel at a time.
Right. So you have one account, more than one account?
Right now, just one. What you mean as far as distributing to?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, just at Bob's Burger and Brew currently.
Okay.
But I've got a couple other people that have had other businesses in the area. So you got to go try here and try there, and I'm slow growing. I have not. I'm not investing any credit or taking loans or anything. It's all growing by what I'm making. And so, makes growth slower. Right.
So, what kind of beers do you like to drink?
I prefer IPAs. I grow my own hops, so I can add as much hops as I can, as I want.
Right.
And but I've made all kinds. Stouts, barley wines. 14 years of brewing something different every time.
Right.
You add up quite a list.
Right. So how often were you brewing before you decided to go commercial?
Of course, for a home brewer, the limit says 200 gallons per home brewer.
Oh, okay, right.
And so I was easily getting that quota.
Sure. So, well, was that something then? Brewing a lot of beer like that, and obviously you couldn't sell it. A lot of friends and family trying out your beers all the time.
Oh, that is correct. And being downtown Marysville, I always had a strawberry festival party at my house, and I'd have 6 different styles of beer on tap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it was quite the party.
Right. So, is owning a brewery? I mean, is that ultimately your goal here? As you keep slowly growing.
Correct. Yeah, that and also long term. Hopefully that it'll also help supplement retirement.
Sure.
Throughout the years, and just it's a fun hobby, and it's one of the biggest growing industries here in Washington.
Yeah, definitely, that's for sure. And so when what was the reason really just to was it to take it to a commercial level just so you could basically supplement your hobby?
Yes. Yeah, take it to the next level. One, so that way it can help support my hobby.
Right.
Because brewing that much, it's a drain on your income.
Right.
And when you don't have disposable income, how do you continue with the hobby?
Sure.
Make the hobby pay for itself, and so it's currently paying for itself. I'm not seeing much of a increase in return.
Right.
Because one, when I first started, my prices were super dirt cheap. $2 a pint.
Oh yeah.
And that covered all my costs and fees and taxes and covered everything. Just wasn't much extra to invest into it. So since that first year of opening, I've increased my prices a little bit, but it's still
And when did you open?
Officially it was last summer.
Okay. And
I think it was, yeah.
So when did you get Bob's Burgers then?
Bob's Burger was this summer.
Okay.
Actually, I'd say middle to end of the summer.
So this is a new account or first account for you too at the same time.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
So previous to that, what were you doing? Do you have like a garage tap room kind of thing?
That's correct. I have it's a detached garage with a mother-in-law apartment above it.
Mm-hmm.
And so in going through the process, I used to do all my home brew in my basement, which was constant temperature, which was really great. So
right.
then, opening the brewery, I had to move out. And so, I converted the garage portion into the brewery, and then the mother-in-law apartment into a tasting room with a little game room on inside it also.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I used to rent it out for tenants, but having tenants is kind of, after a while, it gets kind of hard and kind of old, and they beat up the place, and
yep.
And so this is a way where it can generate that income.
Right. Yeah, I've been there with the tenant thing, so I understand that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do.
Yeah.
But so what are your hours then that you have your tap room open?
Well, since I work a day job,
right.
It's pretty much in the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
6 to 10, Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, kind of 11 to 11.
Okay. All right. So you still have pretty decent hours considering your size. Do you brew enough beer to keep up with your demand at this point?
I do. I do. It's like it's not. I don't have that big of a clientele yet.
Right.
So it's just pretty much word of mouth and just my Facebook page, and
mm-hmm.
and people do find me on the brewing apps that are out there that
right.
have picked me up, and I was like kind of surprised and excited to see those things pop up, and it's it's very fun.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at your Facebook page, and you got quite a few 5 stars now. They're not all your best friends that are just giving you the 5 stars, right?
Correct. And that's kind of how I got into Bob's Burger and Brew. Is they stopped in and he really enjoys it. And it was a general manager of Bob's Burger and Brew at the time.
Okay.
So that's when he put me on tap. And then he's also pushing, for me to, hey, you need to go to here, check out these places, and he's putting in good words for all these other places.
Oh, that's good. Do you have the capacity to sustain, 3, 4, 5 accounts?
As by what Bob's Burger and Brew is going, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to, step up, more brewing, because right now I'm not brewing as much as I can.
Okay.
So I still got a lot more room to grow.
Right. Okay.
And so I'm just right now I'm brewing just on demand.
Mm-hmm.
Staying ahead of it. Just keep it going. But yeah, I definitely can brew a lot more if I need to.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good thing. So you at least know what your capabilities are, so you could take on some additional accounts.
Correct.
Right. So do you have in the past or currently do you have any business experience?
Not business per se as running a business and owning a business.
Right.
And no. And so it's as with a lot of hobbies I've done in the past, I jump in with both feet.
Yep.
And run with it, and it's kind of life. How life is. Life is always something changing, ever changing.
Right. Did you find the licensing and all that type process daunting or harder than you thought it would be?
No, I did not. I found it pretty smooth. Everybody along the process was very helpful. At the all the different levels, getting the licensing and getting the paperwork in and getting the right paperwork in. And, it was, you'd submit your paperwork, and it'd sit on their desk for quite a while, and then they'll get to it, and then they say, okay, well, you need this, this, and this, and then they give you 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right, fine. And then you just jump on it, get it done, send it back to them, and they were all very helpful.
Oh, that's good. And Marysville was good along the way too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The only because I am residential,
right?
I've got those different set of rules. Being residential,
mm-hmm.
But they were very helpful all along the way.
Well, that's good. So have you talked with any of the other breweries in the area? I know Marysville and that surrounding area has a few of them.
Yeah, no, I have not. I think Barrels has 2. They got White Wall over closer to Smoky Point.
Right.
And then there's also another one that I didn't know until I started looking at those brewing apps.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he opened up like a couple months before I did. Five Rights Brewing, and he's more in Sunnyside.
Right. So right now you're still the standalone brewery guy. You're not so much into the community at this point.
Correct. Yeah, I'd love to start getting in the community, but that's where, if the business can support it, then I would do it.
Right. All right, cool. So, last thing that we'll talk about with 320 some breweries in the state. What do you think is going to happen down the road here? Do you see the ability to for yourself and for the the state and the industry being able to support more breweries?
I would think so. Because I'm a big. I love people shopping local,
mm-hmm.
and not going for all the macros.
Right.
Because if more people would shop locally, then it would support it. Growing up, I spent some time in Germany, and it seemed like every village had their own brewery or one close by that you could just stop in.
Right.
And it could definitely support that. If people would, shop more locally,
right.
Find one that you like, because every brewery, even if they brew the same beer, it's going to be different.
Right.
And there's so many different tastes out there, so many different people that it can.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think that we've talked to a lot of people about that too. It's harkening back to the the 1800s, where the brewery was the local tavern and the meeting place and the hangout for everybody. And some of the smaller breweries in the state and like in Seattle, that's what they are. A lot of them are just like the neighborhood tap room. And
mm-hmm.
I think a lot of them they could survive if that's what their goal is. There's going to be a handful that are going to go and be the big guys, but there's not going to be a ton of middle ground, I think, as things shake out down the road.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be either the local one that the neighbors come and hang out at, or you're gonna have to be a big brewery that can support itself in other ways.
Correct. Yeah, if it gets to that point, then yeah, I'd probably move to a more commercial spot.
Right.
But that's if the demand gets there.
Sure. So you at the Strawberry Festival, you have the beer that was available for your party, but have you thought of doing any like charity things or things like that where you might be able to get your name out there more?
I have quite a few, because everybody, once you start up, everybody sends you the flyers and they want you to
sure
to help out. But currently, no, I have not. Just because, like I said, I'm just starting out.
Sure.
Don't have the extra resources to do that.
Mm-hmm.
In the future.
I'm sorry. You said in the future you'd probably like to.
In the future, I probably will.
Right.
And hit up all the different. Local areas and stuff, local
right.
communities.
Have you thought about, maybe next summer doing farmers market, anything like that? Because that seems to be what some of the growing breweries do. that seems to be a good way to get customers.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I've thought about doing that too. Yeah, I've got, because this is one of a lot of my hobbies. One of my other hobbies. I'm also in a brass quintet band, and we play at a lot of farmer markets.
Oh, there you go.
And throughout the area and throughout the community, you'll be able to catch us in Snohomish this Christmas. We're getting back together doing a lot of Christmas stuff, so we'll be out.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that sounds good, and we wish you luck, and as you grow throughout the coming months and hopefully years for you.
I do too. It's a fun venture.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, and Pat from Swinnerton Brewery in Marysville. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
All righty. Thanks to Swinnerton Brewing for joining us today.
If you are a homebrewer looking for a great shop to buy your homebrew ingredients and equipment, why don't you check out Micro Homebrew in Kenmore? Tony and his staff are always happy to help a new or experienced homebrewer find what they need. At Micro Homebrew, they're proud to carry over 100 hop varieties. Visit them today at 17511 68th Avenue Northeast in Kenmore, or find them on Facebook at Micro Homebrew. When you stop in, make sure you tell them that you heard about them on Northwest Brew Talk. And now let's try our next beer from Leavenworth Biers, owned by Fish Brewing now, located in Olympia. We're drinking their Whistling Pig Hefeweizen. Fruity, refreshing, ooh, you splashed me, and touched with malt sweetness. Whistling Pig Hefeweizen is a bright reward for days under the sun. Crisp yet easygoing Whistling Pig is an unfiltered wheat beer. Its classically cloudy appearance characterizes the best German Hefeweizens. That a hef is this authentic is born in the Great Pacific Northwest makes Whistling Pig Hefeweizen all the more delightful. 5.4% ABV, 22 IBUs, and an untapped rating of 3.4.
All right. Nice head on it. And
yep, definitely cloudy, like it said.
Yep, and you do get that...
smell that wheat. That's strong.
Wheat. Yep. I think I taste some wheat in there. I taste it. Oh, I think I got some between my teeth. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nice.
A lot of wheat.
A lot of wheat, but...
Sweet.
Nice, very sweet flavor.
I know we've tried a lot of Hefeweizens that have those different fruity flavors in them. Mm-hmm. This is good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it is. It does say gentle malt sweetness. Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
Under the sun. We haven't had a lot of sun because we are in fall now, but
yeah,
it is good.
It's okay. We can enjoy it on a cloudy day, too.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, but this has got a nice flavor to it.
Yeah, I like that. Thumbs up for sure.
Yeah, definitely a thumbs up. Easy drinking beer.
Yep.
That you could definitely enjoy. I think on a summer day, something like this would probably be really nice. A couple of these after mowing the lawn. But yeah, not bad at all. And now we'll be right back after a music break from Serpentspire.
the mating begin.
That was exhumed from Serpentspire. You can check them out at serpentspire.bandcamp.com.
Yes.
And now we're going to try our third beer this evening after I drink my
Goodness gracious, 3
last
in a
little
row.
swallow. This is from Bellevue Brewing, located in Bellevue. This is their KZOK Electric Citrus IPA. And they have a little description here about their partnership with Seattle-based 102.5 FM KZOK, the classic rock station. It represents a full-time charitable beer program centered on one of the best pairings in the world, fresh, delicious beer and classic rock. A portion of all the KZOK beer and co-branded merchandise goes directly to the charities selected by the BBC, KZOK, and their distributor, Columbia Distributing.
Which it looks like is northwestharvest.org. They support Northwest Harvest, Washington's statewide hunger relief solution, making nutritious food available to everyone in the state. A portion from the sale of this beer will go directly to support Northwest Harvest.
Very good. This is their Electric Citrus IPA, supercharged citrus notes, dizzying hop aromatics, and complex malt body that captivates the senses. 6.9% ABV, 69 IBUs, and an untapped rating of 3.71.
Pretty cool. They got a lot of stuff on here. It's got Citron, Chinook, 2-row Alex, honey, and Cara Red malts. Pretty cool. And it's got
nice
nice white head, golden color.
Nice and clear.
And it's got a nice fruity smell. Almost smells pineapple-y like the other one.
Maybe you're getting a smell of the other one?
Citrusy, but it's definitely citrusy. Yes, this is going to be good.
Mike and his IPA. Wow.
Oh, that's got some really nice fruit flavor.
Very good.
Yeah, you were going to say Mike and his
IPAs.
IPA. And then you're like, wow, this is really good. Wow. Super fruity.
Yep, definitely.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes, they call it a citrus IPA.
Supercharged citrus notes.
And it really is. That is awesome.
Very good.
Wow. That is good. That is good. I do like that. You know, it's not your typical super hoppy, super bitter.
No, but it does have
IPA.
that bitterness to it. But
it was a little bit, but the fruit is great.
Yeah.
That's like that Fremont.
Oh, we're going to compare it to
Fremont,
your favorite, huh?
That's Fremont Dark Heron that I really liked. I tried to find in the store again, and they were gone.
Yeah, I think this one is at the end of its cycle, though, so I don't know that we're going to find another one.
Probably not, but this is good. Yeah. Enjoy that. Definitely a thumbs up on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and that brings us to the end of this episode of Northwest Brew Talk.
Make sure to tune in next week when we chat with Bellevue Brewing.
All right, folks, we promised you a special announcement this week, and here it is. Next week, episode number 90 will be our final episode. That's right. We'll give you more details next week. But thanks to our sponsor, Mike and Michelle Homebrew. This show is written and produced by Michelle Rizzo and myself.
Our theme music is from Gilbert Neal. You can check him out at gilbertneal.com.
Until next week, I'm Mike Rizzo.
And I'm Michelle Rizzo.
Stay hoppy, my friends.